The participants or expert is facing some technical issue. He will be joining us shortly. Please have patience for some time. Just for 5-7 minutes. Good afternoon, Vineet sir.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. So, can we start the session, sir?
Yes, madam, you can start.
Good afternoon, dear participants. I welcome expert of the session, Dr. Vineet Kumar from NIT Trichy. Dr. Vineet Kumar is working in the Department of Production Engineering at NIT Trichy as Assistant Professor. He obtained his PhD from Department of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering from IIT Roorkee and MTech from NIT Allahabad. He obtained BTech from UP Technical University. Dr. Vineet Kumar's research interests are in broad area of advanced manufacturing processes. He has published research papers in international journals, book chapters, and international and national conferences. He is reviewer of reputed journals such as Journal of Cleaner Production, Material and Manufacturing Process, and a Journal of Nanoparticle Research, Advanced Powder Technology, Fusion Engineering and Design, Journal of Brazilian Society of Mechanical Sciences and Engineering, Journal of Material Engineering and Performance, International Journal of Sustainable Engineering, etc. He delivered expert talks, keynote addresses in reputed engineering college across India. Dr. Yadav also handled technical session and served as a mentor of technical advisory committee in international conferences. I welcome you, sir, and we are very thankful to you for accepting our invitation for being expert in this FDP. I
Thank you.
again welcome you, sir, and I request you to share your with us.
Thank you, madam, for the introduction. And I will, sir, I will switch off the video so that I will use the writing pad, so it will disturb in the video.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure, sir.
Shall I share the screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is visible, sir?
Now it is presenting, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, good afternoon to everyone. I am Dr. Vineet Kumar Yadav from NIT Trichy, and I would like to thank the organizer of the FDP to provide the platform for me to interact with you all. So, in the coming lecture, we'll discuss, this is the outline of my talk. We'll discuss about the introduction of the design thinking, importance of innovation, and also we'll discuss the product and services using design thinking, because our focus is on design thinking aspects in terms of manufacturing. So we'll discuss, and our focus would be on product and services that has used the design thinking process, and we'll give few examples of the design thinking. Then we'll discuss the design thinking process in detail, and there are many challenges for implementing the design thinking, especially in manufacturing industries, that we will discuss. Then we'll discuss some future technology. What are the future technology which will take place in future? That will discuss one by one. So I will make sure that this lecture will be interactive and informative for you for the next 1.5 hours. So see, design thinking, and I hope from the last 2 days you are going through the design thinking. It is well known that design thinking is not new to all humankind, but formally design thinking was initiated when the Institute for the Design Thinking was established or founded, we can say, in 2004, and they believe that everyone has a capacity to be creative, and the Stanford D School, or it is in collaboration with the Hasselblatter Institute of Design, that is in Germany. They started these things to provide a platform for the people to think in their own creative potentials. So that history and all we are not going to discuss. Basically, the design thinking can be applied to any weak problem. That when we are saying the weak problem means it is a problem that is difficult to, or we can say impossible to solve by the traditional way because of incomplete, contradictory, or changing requirements that are often difficult to recognize, right? So there are various challenges to solve that particular problem that we will also discuss in the middle of this lecture. And then see, always we have to be approached like a solution based approach, because this is design thinking is an innovative approach towards the problem solving, and it should be user centric, creative, innovative, and here we have to think out of the box. The traditional thinking may not help you to we can say solve that particular problem, as well as while solving that problem we have to compete with our competitor as well. So, and the core part of the design thinking, it should improve the user experience, right? Sorry. Right? So there is a one probe like either innovate or perish. So I will give you some examples which you all are familiar with. For example, there are many corporations which failed due to because they failed to innovate. I will give some example like Kodak. You all know Kodak is a global technology company that was basically dealing with the product and services for the commercial print, or we can say packaging, publishing, manufacturing, entertainment, all these things there. And basically they are famous for that in printing in the photo things, that negative and photo that you all know with the camera. And other company we can think of Nokia. Nokia is a Finland-based company which is also failed because the innovation, or we can say it resists to the changes, and it is focusing only on their ongoing projects, and they are not coming through the innovation and changes in their particular products. BlackBerry is also it was a brand of smartphone tablet, and it's a Canadian-based company. Then Toshiba is a Japanese company, which is basically it provides the product and services like we can say semiconductor, hard disk, printer, batteries, electronic components. So, and Motorola also failed because it is not cope up with the innovations and it is not compete with the competitor, we can say. So we'll discuss one by one with the example. Like we'll see why Kodak failed. See, because initially when it was started, Kodak, in the 20th century, it was dominated the photographic film market. Even we can say in the 20th century, it is the only company which provides the reliable camera, reliable pictures kind of things. And their management, we can say, was so focused on the film success that they missed the digital revolution after starting it. They are not, means they are resistant to go for the digital revolution. So that's why the Kodak filed a bankruptcy in 2012. This is the one case. Nokia, we all know, is a Finland-based company, and it is first to create a cellular network in the world. And then what happened in the late 90s and early 2000s, Nokia was the global leader in mobile phones, but company overestimated the strength of its brand and believed that they could arrive late in the smartphone game and success. But it was not the case. Though they launched, they come in the Android market in 2008, but it was too late to compete with the competitors. Then we can give some more examples like BlackBerry. BlackBerry is also a line of smartphones and tablet, and it was a smashing success in 1998. Because of that, you remember that QWERTY keypad was introduced by the BlackBerry, and that is a huge success in that time. But it's failed to adopt the changes, and again in 2017, its CEO announced that the BlackBerry was out of the smartphone manufacturing industry and manufacturing businesses. Toshiba is another example. See, this Toshiba computers, if you notice this Toshiba computers, though it is a laptop that time, but it feels like a desktop. But after means in the coming decades, they are not inventing too much. They were the first company to make the laptop. They launched that laptop named T1100, the series, but they are not cope up with the innovations in their products. So, because the internet was something which killed the Toshiba growth, because people are buying their competitors' computers at the lower price online. So they stopped for the European markets, and they announced they will not sell, or they will stop making PCs for the European customers. And also in 2017, they sold the chip business for 18 million to the second largest chip producers, that's NAND memory chip company. So these are some story which, if you will not innovate, you may not sustain in the market. And now I will discuss, or I will give you some examples about the organizations, those who are dealing with the product and services, and they introduce the concept or innovations, creative thinkings, and other things. In broad, we can say they introduce the design thinking in their products, in their services. So, like Airbnb is one company, we can say. Airbnb is an American-based company, and that operates in online marketplace, especially for we can say lodging or home style, vacation rental, tourism activity, this kind of things. It is now also popular in India as well. Then LinkedIn also, they are using that design thinking platforms. LinkedIn themselves they are using, as well as in the job profile. If you see in the job requirements nowadays, they are adding the design thinking as the one of the requirements for the job seekers. They should have the design thinking attributes in order to get the good job in various organizations. Then we have examples like Bank of America, even Citibank is other examples. They are using the design thinking concepts. Netflix is one more examples we can say. So Netflix, we all know it is a streaming service provider, and wide variety of TV shows and movies, animations, documentaries, and many more things can it provides the streaming of these things. Then Uber Eats is similar to our Swiggy, Zomato. It was an American-based company. Uber is a American-based company, and it's a service like riding, food delivery, food packaging, couriers, even freight transportation is also there through the we can say waterways. Through waterways, they are doing the freight transportation business as well. So Uber Eats is the one more example we can say. We can think of IBM. IBM initially they failed. IBM was one of the we can say most success organizations in 30-40 years before. It was failed. Then they re-innovate and they grow themselves once again by using this concept called design thinking. Then Apple is other example. Google, Amazon, and many more. So we will go through the details of few examples. Like I discussed about the Airbnb. Though it is a place for lodging, home style, vacation, and renting services, but what was the problem? See, in 2009 they are on the verge of bankruptcy. What was the problem actually? See, they give the hotels for renting, and initially the picture was taken by the cell phones of the owners. These pictures are taken by the owner's cell phones. Then what was the problem? The problem was the picture clarity was not as good as the customer expecting. Customer may think like I am paying more, but I am not getting that much services. So what they did, they just update their app for high resolution photos, and they appoint few managers to handle this kind of things, and they should make sure that picture quality should be of good quality, and it must be taken in high resolution. So because of that much change only, they earned main profit, and this time Airbnb is one of the major hospitality business they are having. And then comes to the other examples, we can say Nike. Nike is engaged in design, development, and manufacturing of we can say footwears and other equipment, accessories, and services. So these are what they did. They are making shoes for the athletes or other players. They directly engage with the players. They are making the shoes in such a way that will help to improve the performance of the, we can say, athlete or player. And they also use, at the same time, they also use the luxury materials, because in that way they also we can say satisfy their style inspirations. It should not be out of style, as well as it should improve the performance. So and not only they are fulfilling the need of the customer, they also satisfy the style inspiration by using the luxury materials. And see, we can see the net revenue of the Nike is increasing day by day by using these concepts. Then we have other examples called Embrace incubators. See, Embrace was a NGO, we can say, and it's involved in the social enterprises that develop, and we can say its focus as to reducing the infants, that newborn baby, and the maternal deaths. So what was the problem actually? The problem in the old places, the infants are died due to the hypothermia. The newborn baby was died because of the hypothermia, that means low temperature. So this Embrace, they think initially they think of developing a electrical incubator, but the problem was with the electrical incubator, it may not helpful in the rural areas. In the rural areas, maybe the electricity is not there, or that much infrastructure is not there to cope up with that electrical incubators. So, and they may not able to, their we can say purchasing power are not that much, they may not able to procure that electrical incubators. So then the Embrace will come with a simple equipment that is called Embrace incubators. That is simply made up of some cloths, and they are having, this will work with the water. In the base, you can keep the warm water, and this incubator will work safely for at least 4 hours. And 4 hours is the sufficient time that the person can move from the rural area or any area to the hospital. Or if required, we can use the other incubator, or we can reuse that particular incubator, because the design incubator are not only we can say safe, it is effective as well as reusable, easy to sanitize and reuse once again. So that will solve the problem in the rural area, we can say. Then comes to the Netflix. So Netflix, actually what happened, what was the problem? 20% of the user activities goes just for searching. When you decided, now I want to see a movie, I want to see a documentary, I want to see an animation, I want to see a TV show, you're just searching. So the users 20% time will go for searching. So Netflix, what they think, they have various rating platforms, they are improved search experience, and they used, and by that way they solved the problem of the users. And by using so, they can, like the user search activity is cut by around 50% or more than that. So because of that also, the Netflix net revenue, you can see, is growing day by day. Then we can think of the features of design thinking. The examples we gave, some examples for those who are not innovated on time, and some examples I gave those who are using the design thinking concepts. So I will show you the features what design thinking should have. Like, so finding simplicity in complexity. There are complex problems, but we want some simplest solution. We can see this was the problem here, and this is the solution. Having a beautiful and aesthetically appealing product, because not only it should fulfill the purpose for what it is meant, it should also beautiful as well as aesthetically appealing, so that customers would go for your product. Otherwise, the competitors are in market. And it should improving the clients and user experience. This is all the design thinking is all about the improving the user's experience, and it's a human centered. And creative innovations, physical and viable solution to the real world problem are some features of the design thinking. Then see, I will give you some example why user experience design is important. Let's see the image. See, this is the design from here to here and here to here, and this is user experience. So we should incorporate the user experience in our design by the design steps. While I will discuss the design steps, we will discuss how to use the user experience, how to engage the user for a better design. It's basically a process that used to determine what experience will be like when the user interact with the product, because only the person who is using that product, he knows what are the problem with that particular product, and how we can come with some innovative idea, how we can improve the user we can say user experience with that particular products. So the objective is to design a system that offers a great experience to its user, and it's a commitment to building product with a customer in mind. Whenever you are going for design a product, you should think and come into the feet of the customer and think in the customer way. So this user experience is we can say it's valuable, useful, usable, findable, creditable, desirable, accessible. So these we should include in our design, the user experience, right? So if you include this user experience, we can get our improved design things. So I will give you some examples why this user experience is required. For example, this interactive products where here we are seeing. This is nothing but it's simply a dining table. You may go for a dinner in a hotel, and this table is of that particular color. And this is made up of a product which can change its color, change its lighting, and it can operate with the, we can say, digital control is there. So I may not like this particular color, I will change this color to some else color. That will give the user a better experience while dining. Second example, here you can see the lighting, and in lighting also we can give the color we want for that particular set of lightings, and color combinations can give you the pleasure to the user. Because of this can possible with the interactive audio visual works. This is the other example. See, initially people used to write on the paper, right? Now they are using the digital notebook. Why we want a digital notebook? What is the advantage of using digital notebook? See, we can write, means we can write using iPad, we can write using mobile, we can write using computers, as well as there we have finder option in digital notebooks. We want to search some particular things, we can use the finder option and we can go for that particular file, that particular we can say sentence in that file. And even it is important like this accessibility. For example, if I am having a paper notebook, I should be present at my location to access that. And in case of digital notebooks, maybe I am outside my station and I can access from anytime, anywhere, using my mobile, using my computer, using my drive. We can access that particular things. And other advantage is what? It's accuracy. The data is exact, immediate, and frequent. Unlike the paper notebook, it may be damaged because of some environmental conditions, because of some other conditions, it may got damaged, right? Then comes to the smart Wi-Fi lighting. This also improves the user experience. Initially, we started with that incandescent light, which was started by Thomas Alva Edison. The first bulb, we can say incandescent bulb, was lit in 1879. Right? So after that, we come through the innovations and various idea. Now we go for LED lightings, and not only LED lighting. This we are doing with the smart control. We have a smart control. What we are doing? We are just see. We are connecting the lighting systems to the smartphones, and we can set the timer. We can check the brightness, easy dimming or brightness, whatever it is, wake up light, cool and warm light, relax and focus light, whether I am going to study or I am going to sleep or I am going to relax. So depending upon my mood, I can from my mobile app, I can control that lighting systems. Here, there is no problem of the color combinations that we can select from my mobile. The 16 million color combinations are there. Out of that, any color we can select and that we can enjoy. Or we want to play games, we have gaming lights and other features like it has voice control, like Alexa. So these are some smart Wi-Fi LED lighting experience the user. Then the other example I can give like the Ralph Lauren photo tech shirts. This shirt is a property, or we can say it is made up of the smart materials in such a way that it will shrink to the size of the user. See, here size down to ensure the snug fit, right? Flat seam for minimum friction, or we can say it's give you also this. There is a electronic device here that can be connected and it can operate the efforts and workout energy can be tracked with the help of applications app. Then we have smart badminton racket nowadays. So smart this badminton, what we are using, just we have app in the mobile phones, and through that app we can know how much percentage we are doing that particular thing. For example, how much smash we are having, how much drive we are having, how much slice, how much lift we are doing. That all we can see from the smartphone. So this will give us the how we are expending our energy, how much smash or how much lift I am playing, how to improve my performance. So this again gives the better user experience as compared to the conventional riders, right? Then comes to the Uber. Uber, as I already told you, the Uber is the service provider company in case of the riding, food delivery, packaging, and other courier services. But the smart thing here, if you noticed, Uber is a software tool. It's just a software tool. Don't own any car, right? So what they are smartly thinking, they come through the problem. This was the problem. There are people who want to go with the from one place to another place, and there are other set of problems. Those who are having cars that may be idle for some time, so that we can meet together with the customer as well as that particular owners, so that we can meet the requirement of the customer. So here the customer, by paying a few amount, they are going from one place to another place by using this particular app, and by using this app they are charging their commission, they are charging so this become a brand, and then they are earning the profits. So in future, if this is the trend, in future we may not need to own a car. We will call a car because there may be competitor, like already they are having Ola, Uber and others. So we may have competitors, so we may get a car of our own choice at low price. So if I'm getting a car at low price, every time I'm getting a new type of car, whatever I'm desired according to my need, so I can call a car and I will go with that. I need not to own a single car. I can every day I can travel with the multiple type of car to the multiple for multiple use. Then there is one equipment called medical tricorder. It's nothing but it's a we can say handheld portable scanning device. We can hold in hand, and it's a portable device, and which is used by the consumers to self-diagnose medical conditions. And within a second, we can get the various biomarkers. We can connect with the phone. We can have retina symbols, blood samples, or any. You may need to breathe out into it, and you can have biomarkers. So within, for example, one drop of blood will give you the 54 biomarkers. It will analyze and it will give you the 54 biomarkers. So basic, we can say basic medical conditions person can access at home by using the medical tricorders, and it can identify if any disease are there. If it is serious, they may contact to the doctor, or they may go to the hospital, right? And also, it nowadays the you can say the medical tricorder updated version are coming so and so, and it is suggesting the medicine as well. Initially, that suggestion may not be useful, but nowadays at least it has become more robust. So these suggestions may be helpful, and in future maybe it will close to the what we want. Actually, we can believe on that. Nowadays people are not believing that. They are consulting with the doctor, then only they are taking that particular medicines. But in future we may have we may believe that tricorder as well. Then so while seeing these examples and failure and success story, we can come with the things like manufacturing success of a product can be because of the quality, rate of production, cost of that particular product, and most important thing is flexibility. If you are not flexible enough, you are rigid to the particular product, what you made 10 years before, that may not work nowadays. So we should think in such a way that always there is a scope of flexibility. right? So this is measured so much by their ability to produce, right? Manufacturing success is not measured by their ability to produce, but to produce with the most flexibility. Manufacturing success is measured by what flexibility or how flexible you are to produce a new things, to cope up with the new design, to cope up with the new invention, how you are providing, how you are satisfying the user needs, right? Then there was some customer need and we are manufacturing. So there is a gap, means customer needs something else, we are manufacturing something else, or whatever we are manufacturing till it is going to the customer end, it may be obsolete, or we can say some more features required for the customers. So how it can be, this breach can be filled with the help of design thinking, right? So in design thinking, because continuously we are improving our product, because design thinking is iterative in nature. So after every we can say every month, every year, or every quarters, we can improve our product to meet the customer need. Then come to the design thinking process. So it's a process of focusing on the end user experience. See, this user centered is important for a case of design thinking and matching the people's need. And as we saw, the manufacturers, those that implement the design thinking across the applications with user experience in mind, are the forefront in the innovation today. That in the previous examples we saw these things. Those manufacturers which is using their design thinking in their products and services, they are far ahead as compared to the others, right? So we are we can say design thinking revolves around a deep interest in developing an understanding of the people for whom we are designing the product or services. So we should always as a we can say manufacturer or as a designer, we should always think as a customer point of view, right? So these are the goals for the design thinking. It should be desirable for the user, viable for the business, and technologically feasible, right? Then see, design thinking also, it is thinking out of the box. See, there is a problem. This is the problem. Truck got stuck in the bridge, right? So what happened? There was a massive traffic problem. Again, then what is the solution? They called the emergency personnels, as well as engineers, as well as the firefighters, truck drivers, and many other professionals they called to solve this particular problem. How to solve this problem when a truck got engaged and it is not either going front or going back. So what they come up with? Some of the emergency personnel, they said we can dismantle the part of the truck. This is one way. On the top, we can dismantle some part of the truck, that we can then we can go forward or go backward. We can remove the truck from that place. And second solution they come with, we can chip away at part of the bridge. We may chip away some part of the bridge. We may cut some bridge, and later we will repair that one, so that this truck will come out from that particular place. Then a small child who was seeing this scene, and he came with the solution, and he said, why not just let the air out of the tires? So design thinking is thinking outside the box as well. See, they did the same thing and the problem was solved. This truck was pulled out, and because these we can say the professionals like engineers, firefighters, truck drivers, they may not be able to think, but these kids Because of their creativity, better thinking, he can think out of the box and he solve the problem, right? And as you all know, this design thinking is a non-linear process. See, though the D school, they give the 5 steps for the design thinking, but it is not a linear process. Like, you should not go after empathize, design, ideate, prototype and test. This is not the way. We have to go in the iterations. It's a non-linear process. One process is attached to the other process and the improvements is always there in the previous process. So for example, if you are going for empathize and then define the problem, after defining the problem, we may redefine the problem after testing. Once we ideate, we go for testing, and that testing means after testing, we can redefine the problem according to the needs and challenges. So basically, the empathize, you all know, some sessions you have already taken on design thinking. So these basic things you are aware of. Just a quick look of that. So that means the empathize means what is the problem. So here we need to go for deep understanding of the problem and realities of the people you are designing for, what they actually want. So you should observe the user, you should interact with the user, you should engage the user. From the user, you have to arrange the ask the interview, you should learn from their previous experience. You should ask question or engage them, engage the user as well, and then you may come with the emerge with the solutions, right? So you can find a way to get solution from the engaging the user, right? So then we will define the problem, why it is important. In empathize, what we are thinking, what is the problem. In define, we are thinking why it is the problem, why it is important. And then the ideal step, we will ask the question, how do we solve it. So there are various tools and techniques to solve the that particular problem that we can go through. And in prototype, we can think like, how do we create it. See, prototype is something which is tangible thing, which is visible to us. It is not intangible, it is tangible to us, which is visible to us. Once you make the prototype, you may think of different idea. You can see the problems, what actually problem was and how you can improve after making the prototype. So once you made the prototype, a tangible product that will help you to solve that particular problem, then you will test that particular design or product, whatever you made initially, whether it is working or not. If it is not working, we have to go again, redefine the problem, again comes again with some different ideas, some modify in the prototype, and this circle will go on. So as I told you, it is a non-linear process, right? And again, the design thinking is a process. Design thinking is iterative. It's not a single step process. It's iterative process. It is non-linear process. It is coordinated type of process. It should have a coordination between the departments, between the people, between the machines, or between the users. You have to coordinate with the users. It is a directed type of process. We can update our software, we can update the things according to the need of the user. And most important, it should be solution oriented. Whatever the solution that is fit for end user or customer, that is our aim or motive for that particular thing, right? So as well as we can think of some viable, feasible and desirable solution in sustainable way. So we will understand the problem and design the right solutions for that. Design thinking will facilitate and meeting the customer requirements effectively, higher shareholder value, improves customer retention and loyalty, and it's faster innovations. And these are the 4 basic principles for the design thinking. The human role, it should be social in nature. Ambiguity rule, like it is inevitable in nature. all design is redesigned. Like basic human needs remain unchanged. We cannot claim that this design is a new design. It may be already existing design. We have to redesign, right? So we cannot claim that any design is a new design. It's already existing design. We are going to redesign for the better human experience or better user experience. And the tangible rule that I told you during the prototype, we have to make the prototype that helps the designer to communicate effectively, and we can think over the various, we can say, challenges, how to solve that particular thing. We can get more idea while having a tangible product. So in design thinking, we believe we are making the tangible products, and then through the iterations, through iterating that particular thing, we are making that product in proper functionality, right? Then see, design thinking also combines the analytical and creative thinkings. I don't know how many of you know your left brain is doing the analytical thinking part, and your right brain is having creative thinking. And right brain is responsible for this imagination, intuitions, feeling, emotions, visualizations. All this comes through the right brain. And left brain is think in terms of analytically, like logic, sequencing, mathematics, fact, words. These are not driven by the emotions, not driven by the feelings, right? So in design thinking, both the part of the brain should be actively, and we should combine the and use the both the brains, we can say, while solving a design thinking problem, right? So there are some challenges in the design thinking. See, 5 key challenges. Observe end user. You have to keep observing the end user in order to get some update of the product, or in order to get the satisfy the customer and give them a better experience. Engage with the end user. We should always engage with the end user in order to know that how the product will be used from the end user perspective. That how what is the thinking of the user while doing the we can say while using that particular product. So we should use that experience while redesigning or modifying our products. Then collaborations, that inputs and opinion from the end user is very important. So we should collaborate with even with the end user also in order to take the inputs and opinions. And it should be an open-minded. Like for example, when we are solving some problem, it can be solved from the combination of different solutions. So we should respect everyone's response. Maybe we are solving some problem, there may be some good response, there may be some bad response, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, there are multiple solutions are there. We should listen that particular solution, then we should refine from that various solutions, we should refine the exact solution. And other important thing is innovate. Like improving the existing products will have a limited effects. Like I told you, in the failure of that those products, for example, let's take the case of Nokia mobile. Improving the existing products will have a limited effect. You should come with the innovation. You should come with a new idea, right? So why should we use the design for a new products? See, design thinking we are using for a new products because it will fail fast. So if the product is fail fast, it will give us the experience. There are some problem in that particular product. So that's why it is not working properly. So we will modify, we will give some input, and we will redesign or modify that products. And then it should be a viable solution. The solution should not be like any solution. It should be viable and feasible solution. Right? And find innovative insights. If you do the design thinking in the initial stage of a product, you can find some innovative insights that you can include during the starting phase itself, so that product may give you the more revenue during the business. Then comes to the challenges in implementing the design thinking, because it should not be a short-term thinking. For example, I will give you example of Paytm. If Paytm would have think in short term, it would not be a that much bigger platform. See, Paytm, which started as a mobile recharge platform, one of the largest mobile payment platform with over 7 million merchants and 300 million registered wallet users, now a major e-commerce platforms. So if they think in that period that we are only doing the mobile recharge, we will not go with the other business, we are not going for any payment and any other things, they may not evolve and they may not success like this. So we should think of we should not think in short term, but the most of the means you can say design thinking units in a company, they are thinking in short term profit. If we will modify this particular thing in that product, we will get a profit. So we should not think in that way. Then scaling and we can say challenge of the pace. Since this is a user experience are changing rapidly, a user wants every year, every 6 months, the user desired is change. They want a new or updated version of that particular products. So you should be in contact with the user. You should be highly reactive, and that's why you should respond in such a way so that you can beat their competitor as well as you can satisfy the users to get their desired product in time. And then this is important, building a design culture. Most of the industries, they don't have a design culture. Even it is limited to only, we can say, to the design team, but we should build in such a way so that this design culture should be with everyone in the company. Like I give you the example of Airbnb. Airbnb, not only managers are responsible, each and every person is responsible for this design thinking process, right? And the last challenge, we can say, the perfectionist block. There are some shareholders, they may think once we got a perfect product, then only I will going to launch that product. But this is not the case. See, design thinking objective is not that. Design thinking means we should go in a iterative way. It is a characteristics, iterative, agile, and use the data-driven analysis like that. But here, what happened? Due to the perfectionist block, we are not, we can say, as an organization or as a design engineer or as a team, design thinking team may not able to launch the product on time. So if you will not launch the product on time, you will have a loss, or you may not able to gain that much profit or potential profit what you can if you launch the product earlier. So they are having a fear, the shareholders are having a fear to not launch the product in the early stage. They want the product to be launched once it is perfect in every aspect they think. So these are the some challenges in implementing the design thinking. And design thinking can be implemented to the other things like extended reality. Here also the design thinking was vastly used. We can think in the extended reality or augmented reality, mixed reality or virtual reality. In all cases, we are using the design thinking concepts. So then here in virtual reality or augmented reality, we are using the design thinking concept to solve the problem. If you see, the augmented reality means we are augmenting something. For example, while solving this problem, these pipes are actually not there, right? These pipes are actually not there, but with the help of augmented reality, means we are thinking that object is there, and we are doing the analysis. We are doing the analysis of how many heat is extracted from the pipe, what is the temperature of the water, what is the flow, what is the other things. We are analyzing with the help of augmented reality. The product is actually not there, but we are utilizing with the help of augmented reality. Similarly, this virtual reality is we can say the virtual storm in case of education. This virtual reality will give a 3D environments for the person to interact virtually and immerse into that, and learning is far easy by using this virtual reality. Then we can use the design thinking concepts in the digital twin. Digital twin is nothing but it's a virtual replica of the physical object. For example, we want to means make this manufacture this motor, but actually we are not going to manufacture this motor. We'll manufacture a virtual replica, and then we'll test that virtual replica how it is performing. We'll check its performance if it is working fine, or if some parts need to be changed. For example, if some part or something which is not fit and giving desired result what we want, we will change that particular product in virtual mode, and then we will test. Once these results or testing results comes fine, then we will go for actual version. So this is the concept of digital twin, and digital twins are firstly using the design thinking concepts, right? So these are some steps for the digital twins. So it can be used in the various manufacturing, automation, automobile, aerospace, Medicare, and wine farm industry. Digital twins are mostly used. And then the design thinking concept is not limited. It can be used to improve the Internet of Things concept also. Internet of Things, we all know, it's referred to the ever-growing network physical objects that features an IP address for internet connectivity, and the communication that occurs between these objects and the internet enabled devices and the system. See, in simple word, it is an ecosystem of connected physical objects that are accessible through the internet, right? So, and it is referred as a machine to machine, or sometimes it is also known as Skynet or Internet of Everything. So these are the components of the Internet of Things. We can see, you can think, means we can see here how they are using the design thinking concept. Here, the IoT concept is also an iterative concept. It's having a feedback system. It is an iterative concept. At each and every step, it should interact with everyone, and it should follow the iterations to improve its performance, right? These are the connecting devices to the human value, and that I am not going to discuss in detail here. See, these are the applications of the Internet of Things. The ultimate goal is to automate the human life. The IoT ultimate goal is only to automate the human life by giving them a smart home, a smart wearables, a smart city, a smart grid, industrial internet, a smart retail, connected health, smart supply chain, smart farming, connecting car. Everything is becoming smart day by day. As you know, your smart mobile phone, smart lighting system, smart city, smart farming things, like things are becoming smart day by day. When you are saying smart, means it is well connected, well giving more output, and well mostly focused on the user experience. It is means good for the end user. That's why it is working. And design thinking concept you can be applied to the circular economy as well. In circular economy, we can apply the design thinking concept. So you all know the circular economy, that which is used for reduce the material and energy use and waste through the recycling, repair, and reuse. This is the concept of circular economy. But nowadays, they are not focusing on circular economy, they are focusing on circular design. Circular design means they are applying the design thinking concept in circular economy. That means your product only, it should not be, you should come with a solution, you should come with a sustainable solution. We should reduce the waste. We should, that solution can be in a cycle in such a way that can be reused, repaired. That design thinking and circular economy both are combined. So this is a new concept called circular design. So these are the few things, like we can say, we can relate. In order to get the user experience, or we can say from the industry point of view, the government of India, they recently established the Smart Advanced Manufacturing and Rapid Transformation Hub, that is called Samarth Udyog Bharat. So we can, that is an initiative by the Department of Heavy Industry under the aegis of Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, Government of India. They basically opened the 4 centers in India, like Center of Industry 4.1 Lab, 4.2 Lab Pune, FMS, Foundation for Smart Manufacturing, IT Delhi, this I 4.0 India at ISC Bangalore Factory R&D, and CMTI Bangalore, this is Smart Manufacturing Demo and Development Cell at CMTI Bangalore. So these we can say these cells, as well as this, the aim of this Samarth Udyog Bharat is to respond quickly to the customer's need. We should come with the interactive, innovative products in short span of time in order to satisfy the end user or to innovate the things. So then we are using, like initially, see, design thinking, as I told you, it is a collaborative based approach. So initially we are using robots, we can say. So nowadays industries, what they are doing, they are using cobots. Cobots are nothing but, it can be used in this particular things. Then it is nothing but it's a collaborative robots. Initial robots, what they are doing, they are doing a predefined job, we can say. If you give a job for pick and place, or we can say a repetitive kind of job, that they were doing, the robots. But in collaborative robots, they are having interacted with the software based system, and they can think, they can work logically, they can use the sense, we can say, and it can work in collaboration with human mind, human thinking, like not necessarily to do the repetitive job. It can modify their function or their work according to the need of the we can say a problem, to solve the problem, right? So this is the cost effective, safe and flexible to deploy, and it is making the automation as easier than ever before, right? Then the design thinking, not only we can apply to the manufacturing systems and services, even in medical field also we can think. For example, we have a problem of this organ donations. There are very few donations, and every day we need more organs for our need. So what, see, initially we can think of the movies like science fiction based movies like Darkman, Fifth Element. They give some idea about this can be done, but actually we are doing. See, with the help of bioprinting, we are able to print the human hearts. This is a human hearts. Though it is in a laboratory stage, but it is tested and it is working. So in future, we will come with that hearts that can operate properly with the human, that will solve the problem for our organ requirements. So organ replacement is a major problem, and so not only hearts, we can print the other part of the body by using this advanced technology. Through it comes through the innovation only. So this is in the innovation itself, and through the iterations, various iterations, we can say, they are improvising the concepts, right? So various part of the body can be printed with the help of bioprinters. Not only that, we can say, see, apart from printing the hearts with the help of bioprinter with the set of particular things, we can think of we can say on-site replacement. See, here there is an injury, right? This injury can be fixed at their particular place. It's not a normal healing process. What happened? There is a problem at this particular location. At that particular location, we fix that printer, that is called bioprinter, and we'll print them some biomaterials at that particular location, and it will provide the improved healing, and that wound can be healed as earlier as than it was normally do, right? See, not only that, see something called we can say gene replacement. Gene replacement is something we can extract the genes from your body, we can store it. Maybe, for example, if a person is 30-year-old, his gene is extracted and kept somewhere. After 10 years, maybe when he is at 40, he is at 45, and that genes, whatever is stored when he was 30, that can be re-implemented and make the person regenerate once again. So that means in coming days, this technology will be viable and feasible as well, so that people can be regenerated anytime. Means after every 10 years, every 5 years, we can reapply that gene. You will be look younger than you are at the current age. So these are the some technologies which are not possible without this design thinking, this iterative thinking, creative thinking, or innovative thinking. So, and by that way, this basically this bioprinting is one of the major things that can we can say solve over most of the problems in coming futures, and the lot of research is going on that particular phase. So in future, maybe we will print more that we may not require the organ donations in future, right? So that's it from my side. Thank you. So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, if you have any thing you want to write me, you can write me on my email ID. That is Vineet, VINEET @nitt.edu, and Vineet, VINEET 437 @gmail.com. Anytime you are feel free to contact me for any discussion related to design thinking, manufacturing, industrial engineering, whatever it is. Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If there
From
is
my
any question, I'm
side,
happy to take that questions.
if you have any queries, please ask the questions.
So, Mr. Ahan raised the hand. Mr. Ahan, is there any question from your side? Any of the participants have any queries?
Okay. So they may write me on the mail anytime related to this design thinking, as well as anything they want to discuss. They can discuss with me.
So it seems they have understood everything. So there's no queries from participants. And we are very thankful to you for your support and for your accepting our invitation for being expert in this session. And we are seeking your guidance in future also, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Vineet, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
I request participant to join back at 2:15. There will be a session of Professor S.P. Harsha at 2:15. Till then, they can take lunch.